Hello everyone, I'm Vicky StitchNButton. Welcome back to all my viewers, and I saw there's some new ones, so welcome to the show. I was doing a lot of stitching like the first week, and then the second week sort of petered off because I did a lot of bags. Finished them, believe it or not, if you go over to the group, I think there's one new bag left. That's it. I think there might be 2 bags left total, or 3 if I'm not mistaken. They went well. What can I say? Not complaining. I've already picked out new fabric to start more bags, and I've sort of been a little obsessed with figuring out new stuff for the Cricut, and I'll show you a couple of things that I've made over the past couple of weeks. So let's get into this. Today is June 16th. It's still Wednesday, I think technically. It's like really late on a Wednesday night. And this is my Flosstube number 83. You think I'd know what I was doing by now. Last time I was on, I think I was working on the trivia, the stitching trivia. And Facebook's been messing up. So we haven't been able to post pictures and stuff, and which sort of fizzled me out also. So I also had the Music Mania to do. Another one that's sort of fizzling out because you can't post on your post. You have to make a whole new post on the events. It's a big kerfluffle, for lack of better terms. Anyway, I also have new challenges coming up because I had joined Crystal Academy, and you're on a group and you have so many stitches to do for so many levels. It ends up being 750 stitches for the entire week. And I'll show you what my plans are for that, because that just started on the 14th, but I didn't get to stitch in. I had a little problem with the bathroom. The valve was replaced on the toilet, but I think because that valve was pushing water when it shouldn't have been, it ruined the valve in the actual back of the toilet. Either that or it's really old and falling apart like I am. Anyway, it's been dripping, so the valve wasn't shut all the way off, and I ended up having to get the shop back out and clean up all that water. It was a nightmare, and then it happened a little bit today. I have called the landlord. And then last night I was going to stitch, and thank goodness I didn't have my stitching out, because right after I dealt with all that water, I ended up spilling coffee all over my table, my leg, the floor, my phone. It wasn't pleasant. I wasn't pleasant. I'm doing better today, though. It's rainy here in Florida today. Very rainy. I'm a little ticked off because I have to wear socks today. It's only 72. And I know that's not normally cold for people. I've always been cold, even when I lived up north. And 72 is a little chilly, so I put on socks. It sort of pisses me off. I live with mosquitoes the size of hummingbirds, so I don't have to wear socks in June. So there's that. Anyway, so I was doing prompts for 200 stitches a piece, and if you've seen me in the past, you know that I tend to work better with just the smaller amounts and get a lot more done. So at first I was on a tear and getting stuff done. One of the first things I did, I think it's one of the first things I did, was I worked on this Reolist kit. This, again, is in the wool thread. Let me see here. I didn't pull out the thread, but I'd shown it in my last video. Comes on these long bobbin things, and it's a wool thread that you use. I've been using 2 strands. Once I tried one and it didn't work. But, and it's on Ada. And this Ada has actually softened up since I've started it. So it's not as bad. But I ended up putting stitches in it to the point where I finished up all the black that was here and started to move over here. Because there's so many colors and I needed to just get a prompt done, I figured I'd just zero in on one color. And that seemed to have worked for me. I want to say I might have even decided to pick out a couple of blues and do just a few stitches in here and there to get that done. After I finished off a length here, I only needed a few more stitches, so I just did some fill-in. But it's there. J-Long is doing this with me. I think she's further along than I am, though. She started in the center, and I started the bottom right. So I've said, if it comes up to do like smaller prompts, I might actually just pull this out and do 200 stitches, because then I might actually get it done sometime this millennia. Next one. I don't have a picture for this one. This one is Dark Queen of the Sea, and it's from the designer is Autumn Lane Stitchery. You can get it on their Etsy site. The fabric I'm using is from Under the Sea. It was a special fabric pack that was offered for this specific SAL, and I got the embellishment pack also, and it's using DMC. And so I'm using the called for colors on it. And I think I ended up having to do just about 200 stitches, or I did 2 things of 200 stitches on it. So I filled in, there was 4 stitches down here, and then the rest was all filled in up here and going down here. This is just part 2. The fish were part 1. This bodacious booty here is part 2. So I have not finished part 2, but I'm well on my way. I'm over halfway done part 2. And I know some people are chomping a bit for the next piece already. You guys go ahead with that. I will work on it little by little. It works for me. I think I chose the even weave, by the way, for that from Under the Sea in a 32. Because I know I didn't mention that. Alright, the next one I did, I think it was just 200 stitches, and it's on The Dragon and the Fairy from Joan Elliott. And I've been working primarily just in the wings. I started in the wings at the top center, and I've just kept on winging it, so to speak. This is on 32 count even weave. It's called Electric Wisps from Fabric Flare. It was a September fabric of the month last year. So I have some more dragon wing to do. I'm looking at the picture. This is the top of her back wing. This is the top of her forward wing. There's like a 3-piece wing here. So there's a lot done on the dragon, and I think I only have a couple like spiky parts here left to do, and some in here. These holes right here are beads. So I got a good portion of her wings done in that last prompt. That worked up pretty quick. She's pretty. And the fabric, I like working on the fabric. It's pretty nice to work on. It's softer. I put it in a Q-snap. It works fine. Flows well. Doesn't seem to be pulling at my threads too bad to beat them up. So that's a big plus too. And let's see. Next, I worked on one more, which is more than I did last time. I think I only worked on one and then a couple of stitches on another in my last update. This one, I still need to put more stitches in. Let me see. I have numbers here. Okay, I need to put in 500 stitches in for the Music Mania. I've got 281, a little over 281 done right now, because I didn't count the last little bit I did. This is Alice in Wonderland by The Little Stitcher. She is on Etsy, and it's a digital download. I have finished all of this, all of that, and I am working just on the bottom picture here, that bottom panel. This is stitched on 32 count Oopsie Daisy from Lapin Loops on Etsy. That's LAPINLOOPS on Etsy. She is the daughter of Becky Nolan, who is Love and Stitches. Lucy Beam Love and Stitches. So this is how far I've gotten. Just so happened when I folded it, I've got a little title here. So I finished all these words, plus that little white border there. That was easy. And then I did the staff, came over here, did the tree for the most part. I still have some leaves to go. And I did the paintbrush. Now there's a couple of stitches going around here that's drips of red from the paint because they're painting the roses red. And I started on my card soldier. Right now he just looks like he's got 2 heart-shaped boobs. Yep. So I still need to do, like I said, I don't know how many stitches that is. Possibly 30 or so. Maybe a little bit more than 30. So I probably need to do close to 200 more stitches on this for that prompt. And then it'll go away for a little bit. And keep my stuff together. Put my poop in a group. Alright. Let's see. I only have a little bit of haul, and it's basically just some threads that I ordered from 123 Stitch. Just these 3, it's all the same thing, Moonlit Path, and some DMC. Taking them out of the bag now because they're going to go in my Guardians of Notre Dame by Ingleside Imaginarium. I don't have the picture printed out. I only have the color key printed out right now. And I did pick a fabric. Curious? Okay. 32 count linen shadows. So the Guardians of Notre Dame, if you don't know what it looks like, is basically a picture of 12 gargoyles in wedge shapes that make it look like a stained glass window. And I think it's going to look good on that. This is a Victoria Motto sampler fabric. I think I've only ended up receiving 3 of her fabrics before I quit because they weren't sending them out. I quit early on, and it seems like she might be starting to catch up now, and I've seen a lot of complaints about it. So it's a hit or miss with her. I mean, the thread colors are beautiful. I've been collecting them for years. But sometimes the kicker for me is having to beg for my stuff that I already paid for. That just doesn't fly well with me. So, especially if you're not going to answer emails, and I'm sure it's being inundated, but then there's the fact that you don't have to bill every month either if you're not sending the stuff out. There's pros and cons to every side, isn't there? Alright, so my next prompt is for Crystal Academy. We had to figure out 6 whips that we wanted to work on for 6 different weeks, and then you could pick one for an extra credit. Extra credit's 1,000 stitches each, and I chose One Nation. One Nation's my extra credit because I think there's a possibility I could get that done this year if I just really try to tackle it whenever I get a chance. My first whip, though, for the week to work on is Poppy. So, I am going to have to put in 50 stitches, take a picture, 100 stitches, take a picture, 150 stitches, take a picture, 200 stitches, take a picture, and then 250 stitches, take a picture. That's for this week, which ends, I don't know if that ends Saturday or Sunday. It started on Monday, so I'm going to assume that I have until Sunday at midnight to get my 750 in. And like I said, I would have started it last night, but it was a bad night. It was not the night to do that. So I will get a lot of them done tonight. Who knows? I might even get it done tonight. It's not that hard. There are larger blocks of color in there. I have basically finished her wings. I'm looking to make sure. I finished her wings and the top, and now I am working on getting into the skirt. Well, not into it, you know. Don't be creepy. Getting into stitching the front of the dress part here, and then there's that big red ruffle. And I did the skin 2/2 because I wasn't doing 1/1. So there's that. So look for her in my next update, plus another one, because it'll be 2 weeks, right? I will keep this one out to work on her. I don't think I did a under 1,000 sub club last week, so I'm doing one for this week. It's going to be Stephanie Nene. She is a stitcher. She's only got a couple hundred subscribers. I find her interesting. She lives in Jakarta, in Indonesia, and she has shown in the past. I think she's still doing it because I haven't looked for one in about a month or so from her. But she does a lot of cross stitch. She also does diamond painting, and she did some sewing. If you go back and watch her, but she doesn't have a ton of videos, so it's easy to start from the beginning. She did some sewing classes, so she made some cool stuff, and she's shown videos of around Jakarta, them going on the train, and she went to, I think, a knitting or crochet place with yarn. So I don't remember because it was a while ago, like last year or the year before. She did some knitting or crochet. I can't even remember, but I remember there was yarn involved. And she showed a couple of the shops. What else? Oh, she does puzzles. She also shows some puzzles that she does, so there's that. She's a very quiet speaker. So for those that like a nice calming, and there is somewhat of a language barrier, but I don't know any of her language, and she knows a hell of a lot of English, and it's not very distracting. Sometimes when people don't really know the English language, it's hard to follow. She's not hard to follow, but she does speak a little bit slower to the most point, and pause to make sure she's saying the right words. I think she's adorable. Definitely check her out. I also, what else? At the end of this video, I am going to tag, I don't know if anybody noticed. There's a couple I know noticed because I do it for them, but a lot of people like to see the picture of Gunner at the end of the video, and I usually try to put a different one. Sometimes I'm just like grabbing whatever. It might be a repeat. This time I have a video. It's about a minute long. They're going to tag to the end. The other night we were outside and this frog came out of nowhere and started jumping around, and I didn't get it right away, but it jumped on his head a couple of times and he freaked out and he jumped. It actually jumped in my face, but not on me, just straight up in my face. That's how I noticed what was going on. It was funny. I got some of it on video, so I'll put that in at the end. And I guess the last thing I have to show is what I've been doing with the Cricut. Alright, so I might have shown one of these cups before, but I still have these in the shop. I'm not putting them on Etsy. They're going to be in my Facebook group. I don't know if I'll end up putting them on my Instagram, but I'll definitely have them in the Facebook group. I have these tumblers. They're 30 ounces. They keep things cold for a long time. A really long time. I'm not sure about hot. It should keep it hot for a while, especially if you rinse it out with hot water first. But I know it keeps ice for a while. Anyway, this one has two different color purples. This one's a sort of sparkly, glittery type purple, and then this one's a foil purple. And it says this is my stitching sippy cup. I also have this one. It says cross stitches rated X. Get it. And with a hoop and X's on the back. I have this one in red, and I can do other colors if you'd like. but this is what I have right now. I know I have a couple others up, and I can't remember all the colors, but I wanted to give you a gist of what was going on. This one I have in blue, in glitter blue and glitter purple, as you can see. It's the Stitching Hydrator. I had to look up to see if it was an E or an O. Pretty sure, like 99.5% sure it's an O though. And then I put X's in the needle and the hoop on the back. I also have some vinyl stickers available, vinyls that you could put on your laptop or your, kind of big for a phone, but on your tablet, on your laptop, stuff like that, or maybe some of those mesh bags that we use, or even on the front of a vinyl bag. You can put it on there like I've done. I did one like this. That's just a vinyl that I printed out and put on the front of the bag. So I think I'm done. That's it. I will be coming up with some more Cricut stuff to play with. I need to do the stuff that I normally do before I do all the playing stuff. And if I come up with a new idea, I get 1 or 2 done and put them up on the group quick so I can share the idea. And hopefully you guys like it. I don't think I have anything else. I even wrote notes this time. Well, sketchy notes, you know, a word here, a word there. And I think I've covered everything. I will see you in just a couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll have more stitching done, because I really need to get back into that. And hopefully I have my bags cut out by then, which, I mean, 2 weeks is a long time. And I hope everyone is doing well and able to get out. It's starting to warm up all over the place. Some places it's way too hot, by the way. Florida needs to get their act together. And stay safe, stay happy. Don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine. Bye.
Get it, gun, get it.
Get him. Where'd he go? Where'd the frog? Oh, did it touch you? Where'd the frog go? I think it went over here. Where'd it go? Get the frog. Oh my goodness.
Where'd it go, gun?
Get him. It's not there.
You missed it, buddy.
It left.
He took off.
It's gone. He took off that way.